There was no vehicle. To go ahead and tell you that, the one lights and the time on the videos are actually wrong. Law enforcement has confirmed that. The one looks like it's running down or something. That was actually the gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that. There was no vehicle. There was no vehicle.
It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th, and there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not. My client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi, Dad. I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with decent clothes? Mom.
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is doing well. Give me a second to fix this. All right. And as always, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch the show. I was going to do a members live, but I was working on the video that I released earlier today, and it just took a lot longer, and I wanted to do something special to the members. So hopefully tomorrow I can do
Yes, when you're just looking for a reminder.
Fix this. But yeah, there's still a lot of stuff, you know, if you guys are here for the show on Saturday, I believe it was. Or Friday, I'm sorry, gosh, time flies. Where, of course, you know, if you saw my video earlier today, catching them lying about the neighbor taking out the trash, which, again, is absolutely disturbing and disgusting that they would do that. Part of this live is to piggyback off that and then move into some other territory as well. And yeah, just checking the chat out real quick here. Let me, as always, thank you to my wonderful mod, Sassy. I see you in here. Thank you so much for coming on board and helping us out. You are amazing, Sassy. God bless you. Sensei, I see you in here. Again, I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. Teresa, good to see you. Thank you for the 9 months. Thank you, Kristen, for your amazing work. Thank you. For this amazing support. Marie says, great work, Chris. Piece by piece. Yes. And that'll be part of today's live. Yeah. We'll get into that because, yeah, I'm trying to get a bunch of different information, different timelines and stuff and a lot of people are helping me out behind the scenes, sending me Word documents on different angles, which is amazing because, I am trying to put some stuff together, and we'll eventually be sending stuff over to, the TBI and FBI, especially about this new thing where they're caught lying, I mean, there's a lot more to add in there, but, just kind of something to add in, that they would, take their son's case and lie about something like that. It's pretty disgusting. And then also because we had so much to go over on Friday, I didn't really get to read chat, and so at this time I want to kind of take my time. So again, thank you to everybody. Please hit that like button. Let's get started with just piggybacking off the video I put out earlier, just to go over a few things on that, and then we're going to switch gears. I did find something interesting that would kind of support the theory about them getting a search warrant, which I think, I was a little 50-50 on, and from my sources, it was kind of like 60-40. Some weren't sure. Some thought it was more likely plausible. Man, that's crazy. Is it on the 7th? So it's just around the corner. Because, we're getting at the end of October. So just a little over a month away. So he'd be turning 17, right? Which is just crazy. All right, guys. Let me know in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you saw my video earlier that I put out. And if you didn't, no worries. YouTube's got a different way of doing notifications now, which is kind of, from what I understand, it used to be just you clicked on the bell and everything, which you can do, but apparently I've heard that if you don't watch a certain particular channel, back to back, you, even though I think if you're signed up, you won't get those notifications, which is, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. A lot of people, that's awesome. I appreciate that. And again, if you haven't, no worries. Again, a lot of people don't get notifications. But yeah, so we went over the other day about, catching them in this giant lie. And if you haven't seen it, I'll just kind of recap a little bit of it because I do want to kind of focus more on chat and kind of talk about some of the things that we're doing. Yeah, hey, Seth, good to see you. Let's see, till Chris sent me an email. Yeah, I will. Let me write that down. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, Seth. Staying strong. Email. Yep. Okay. Yeah, no worries, Florida. Again, it's there if you want to check it out. But I will send you an email. I wrote that down, Seth, and we'll definitely do that. So anyway, if you just missed it, we'll just kind of recap here. But basically, they did this recreation in, I think it was December. It might have been late November, but we'll just say December, just not, and of course, I've debunked it, so many different times, but the biggest thing was that we discovered was them mentioning how they spoke to this neighbor, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll just play a small clip here.
So if you look at that, right, the original, so on another house in the subdivision, Go to the rod.
Yeah.
And to come back and be
57,200. Is there anything to the
right here?
The one looks like it's running down or something. That was actually a gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that.
So that is Crispy literally saying, yes, gentleman took out the trash can and admitted to that. Well, that is not the full truth. Actually, you know what? I might be better off pulling up my video to do this. Give me 1 second. It might be quicker just to do that. Yeah, let me do that. What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and I have an epic video for you guys today. I have caught Chris Stinkfoot. Okay, so yeah, let me do this. This will be a little bit quicker. People asking about, I was kind of curious how Pigfest went. I didn't hear anything like crazy. So I hope it went, good, and there wasn't any, drama, because, it could be used. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. As always working hard, always trying to think outside the box, Seth. Trying to do my part, but yeah, prayers for you, and thank you to everybody in the chat, really, for showing him support. I can't imagine, especially, coming up on his birthday, just a month away, and then just after that, you've got the anniversary, second anniversary. I mean, that's got to be a lot. I can't imagine. I'm trying to do everything, and again, and it's not just me; it's our community. And they've been sending me a lot, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. So let's just kind of recap, if you've just not been up to date, of what I caught them doing, which is a huge lie. And there's more to this. This is why I wanted to touch on this.
24. Shortly after PI Fish Sticks was hired, a team including Clue, Cletus, and others went to recreate the 3 a.m. lights by going to location of home that had the camera.
So yeah, like I said, they went there.
So here's the backstory on how this all started. Early when
told them move it to the left, they moved it to the left. It worked, but that was the.
So here is them in the live. This is why I went to this video, because it's just got the highlights. But notice how Clue keeps saying move to the left, move to the left. And I was kind of thinking about this. I'm sure when they went to go recreate this, they're, of course, where we believe the lights are coming from in the common area. And if you listen to what she's saying, move to the left, well, what do you got? You got this, right? So moving on from that.
Extent of my recreation, I told them move it to the left. They moved it to the left. It worked. It was perfect.
Oh, thank you, Abby.
You could not, I don't know how you did that, but you legitimately could not have lined that up any better.
Because a few, me and him were sitting there like, is that right?
Sorry, because we got Seth in here, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, Seth. Seth says, it was good. A lot of people remember Sebastian, and he's not forgotten. A lot of his classmates were there as well. No drama, which was pleasant. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Because I know they would probably, it'd be used and be a bunch of videos about, the drama, and that'd take away from Sebastian. So that's good to hear. So happy to hear that. That's amazing.
Right? Is that right? I don't know. Let's try this. I mean, we literally tried it half a dozen times.
Right. Oh, hey, Pincho.
Like,
good
I
to
walked
see
my
you.
ass off.
Man, I hope you've been well.
Trying to.
God, man, you did such amazing work. And I know a little bit about, that kind of work, recreating that from the ground up. And because I did that way back in my younger years, and lost the skills. But I understand how much time that would take to kind of build that 3D model from the ground up, which was amazing. Amazing work.
Recreate something and be like, no, I think that camera needs to turn a little bit this way.
Okay.
This way.
Is facing was towards the in this.
Right, they put those two lights to the left And that's not. So if you look at that, right, the original field of degrees.
Okay, so I debunked how ridiculous this degrees was, and I'm going to go over that. We're just going to go right over the trash can part, right? So let me skip to this. Okay.
Feet have hired fish sticks, and they are all working together. This entire experiment will come full circle on how I caught them all lying. Here, they actually debunked themselves and didn't even realize it. Honestly, it's pretty embarrassing.
The two lights that you see in the middle there that the arrow is pointing to are actually landscape lights on another house in the subdivision. Go to the next one.
And just wait, because we did do a recreation video, and it is...
Sorry.
They have their 40 clearly take a clip doesn't line up. Those lights what happened, but this clip was the second part of their recreation, where allegedly...
All right, now we got to the part. So they go out there, try to claim that the lights, what are really the floodlights to the garage, at 1006, they actually point at this one here, and then they had Cletus or whoever go down that guy's driveway, and then from there he kind of walks down Stafford a little bit, and this is slowed down.
Cletus or someone a part of their team is walking down this neighbor's driveway with a flashlight moving down to the right. This was to recreate the action that happened on the original 3 a.m. video. He then appears to be moving to the left, down the Stafford Road. But there is a huge problem with their recreation. Do you notice how...
Now look, as I'm talking in this, look at how now this is normal speed. Now watch the lights. If you haven't seen this, just watch the behavior of the lights. Let me make this as a little bit bigger as I can here. For anybody that hasn't seen this, and again, if you had, we're just gonna kind of add on to this.
How much that his flashlight appears to be strobing off and on. And no, this isn't Morse code, and no, he does not have a strobe light. It's much worse and completely embarrassing, and I'll explain in the end. All of it will be the foundation of the giant...
And as you can see, the original, and that's at normal speed as well. I didn't slow it down or anything. And notice, there's only a couple times where it does a little flicker, it goes out for a bit, comes back in, and it's in pretty solid, and then does one more little flicker, but it's not strobing the entire time.
Lie in which they were caught telling. Shortly after that experiment, Fish Sticks was asked about their work. Notice his enthusiastic reaction and what he says.
You guys come up here and you get so quiet.
You guys did a great job with that recreation. Really did. I think helped a lot.
Yeah.
What people should know too is that you guys did that multiple times to get it right, just to tweak it. You guys have been out there a couple nights in a row.
So I want to skip this forward real quick because I want to go back and play this a little bit longer, and then when you have the full context and understand why they're not mentioning something that's completely obvious. But we'll come back to this.
That was awesome.
But you can see, look how enthusiastic he is. Keep in mind, remember, at this point, they allegedly, during this experiment, while they're doing it, there was a guy taking out his trash can where they were at, coincidentally, and they spoke to him, and he admitted, I was the one taking out the trash early that morning. Convenient coincidence?
Well, to me, there's nothing better than the events. Could it be someone coming down there? Could it be? But...
So, pressing on, and we'll come back to this. Then a month later, Fish Sticks goes on to Lore Lodge, and then here is what he talks about.
A month later, just upon the 1-year anniversary of Sebastian's disappearance and what Fish Sticks now claims.
Yeah, I'm on the spectrum.
What the AI was telling us is that one of them was just anchored.
And it's funny, this is another thing. I kind of had an idea, but I was so focused on everything else that I thought maybe they were trying to mention that the floodlights themselves, when he mentioned this, was what he was talking about. And even when Crispy talks about it. But no, they're talking about subject 1, which is absolutely ridiculous. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But that's something as well that I never talked about. And it's Anyway, it's ridiculous.
And the other was moving and was very likely a flashlight, which gave us a lot of hope that maybe that was Sebastian. And then it was just kind of like dumb luck. As they're doing this test, the cameras are rolling and a light starts moving across the monitor, and it's a guy taking his trash down. And
so they're saying why they did this, that they caught this on camera. According to him, he even mentions monitor. Completely red flag there. And it's a huge red flag, clearly. And I'm sure that he's just referring to their own video. Because when you go back then listen to their live just a month prior, when they're just talking about their new experiment, you notice that there's no mention of, oh, hey, while we were filming, there's this guy taking his trash out, and then we went and spoke to him. No mention of that in the live.
His trash can down from an elevated driveway, and I was not there, but the rest of the people went.
And here we go, plausible deniability.
And talked to him, and he said that morning that he had forgotten to take his trash out, and he had heard the trash trucks, and with a flashlight took his garbage can, wheeled it down to the curb.
Yeah, it's hard when you're making up shit. I mean, I say a lot. I'm just wired that way, but especially when you're lying.
And so that we believe, can't say for certain, we believe that's much more likely. That's probably what that light is. But right. I definitely do not. I know that's not. They'll never convince me that was a trash truck for sure.
So here is when fish.
And then that little statement right there. So you're claiming that you literally have evidence of, and you have a guy that admitted to taking out the trash can with a flashlight, but yet then you end with this quote.
No, that's not. They'll never.
Let me back it up just a little bit.
But right. I definitely do not. I know that's not. They'll never convince me that was a trash truck.
Okay, so why would you need to say that if you just now got confirmation that this neighbor's taking out his trash can? Why would you feel the need to now add that in there, which makes no gosh darn sense?
So here is when Fish Sticks conveniently mentions that while they were doing the recreation, a neighbor allegedly came out with a flashlight and took his trash out. Then they claim they spoke with him, and this neighbor admitted to taking out the trash can the night Sebastian went missing. He even claims they have this on camera. Yet, when they talked about their recreation back in December, they never mentioned this huge detail. That's because Fish Sticks allegedly used their own recreation to lie about seeing the neighbor and speaking to him. Now let's come full circle, and let's listen to Mr. Stinkfeet, where he now mentions on a live show about this new revelation. Trust me when I say I'm going to embarrass them.
3 a.m. and was there a car?
I'm taking this as in reference to the mob cruise video.
And then this recording, I believe, is in March, so about a month, a little bit, maybe 2 months after the interview, just after the anniversary.
Yeah, the one he's done 157,216 times.
To go ahead and tell you that, the one lights and the time on the videos are actually wrong. Law enforcement has confirmed that. The one looks like it's running down or something. That was actually a gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that. That was actually a gentleman taking his trash can to the street. He has already admitted to that.
He's already admitted to that. All right. Well, if you haven't seen it, then you're in for a big reveal. So here is what really happened.
Now the 3 a.m. lights are coming from this common area right here, but they are claiming that the 3 a.m. lights, especially subject number 2, is coming from this home with the steep driveway. But there is a big issue with this. Do you see it? Let's go to the ground view and take a closer look. I wonder why when we compare the two videos. Cletus and Crew's recreation video shows a light that seems to be blinking off and on. I wonder why it doesn't compare to the original light video. Well, it's pretty simple actually when you take the time to do a little research. Here is me showing the angle and direction they're claiming the lights are coming from. Do you see the problem? I wonder why Blinky McBlinker appears to be walking with a strobe light, or trying to do Morse code with his flashlight. I wonder what could be causing that.
So Pincho, they, because obviously, like you said, but they walked down and they turned the camera where obviously that security camera is, because it's angled down. But, they're trying to produce this narrative. But this is why, so if you haven't seen this before, Pincho, then obviously it's not going to shock you. But if you notice, they did go down that driveway to recreate it. But like I said, you see it strobing the entire time. Well, here's the issue and why it's doing that.
That issue. Could it be caused by the 8+ trees that are scattered throughout the 2 yards that would be causing this issue? Yes, that's right. The reason their recreation doesn't work is because the lights would be blocked by all these trees. Even in the fall, all the trees and the branches attached to them would cause this effect. But in the original Subject 2, hardly blinks. That's because there are less objects blocking the lights, likely coming from the common area where there are less objects.
See how he's just strobing constantly, because even though it's fall, or winter, whatever, you've got all those branches, right? Mr. Blinky McBlinker. So the light is just barely, it's just cutting through all those branches, causing this effect. Idiots.
Objects. Imagine certain family members hiring a team, and they all allegedly lied about this neighbor and the lights. Ask yourself, why would they do that? How does this help find Sebastian Rogers?
There was no vehicle.
Sandy says, yeah, if you want to email it to me, sure. Yeah. But yes, Sandy, I did see your other email. I replied to most, so I apologize if I didn't reply to you. But yeah, I replied to most people, but, yes, I did see it. I just probably didn't get a chance to actually, send you a response. So I do apologize. But anyway, so that completely debunks their whole thing, and actually helps our theory with the common area, right? Because now we can use, like I said in Friday's show, their experiment against them, because
there was no vehicle.
But we can use their experiment to our benefit, because not only to debunk them, but then that just shows more that how that light behaves, Subject 2, where, it blinks a couple times, but it's not strobing the entire time, right? There's a couple of times I have the damn thing, the whole 3M stuff like burned into my brain. So I can just picture it closing my eyes, but it kind of comes in, flickers a little bit, goes out, comes back in, does a little bit of flicker, and then it's pretty solid as it moves. And that more lines up with a light moving through the common area where flickers probably got caught between one of these trees, and we don't see it for a minute. And then it comes out, and then there's 1 or 2 flickers, and then that's it. So again, today makes 20 months of Sebastian missing. Wow. Thanks you, Kathy, for the support and the $2. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing a lot behind the scenes. That's all I can say for now. But yeah, because there's some stuff, right, that, trying to put this all together. So, let's see here. Okay. I should have made this smaller. Give me a second while I figure out where I put that. So again, just listen to this a little bit. I'm not going to play this whole thing, but now with all the context you have, keep in mind that allegedly this is right after their experiment, and they're like, oh, giving themselves a pat on the back, and you can see how enthusiastic Mr. Fishsticks is here. Keep in mind they allegedly caught this neighbor on the on the camera. And then there's no mention of that. And then the way they talk about it, also suggests that did not happen. I mean, I could tell you with 99.9% that did not happen. But now just kind of keep that, in mind.
To do that, right? Because I think everyone questions, could it be someone coming down there? Could it be? But the problem is the angle is just not right at all.
Not for where people were saying that things would come from. We can pretty much take out that backyard area. It's not a common area. I know it's called a common area, but it's not a common area.
God, they hate that common area. I want to get like a T-shirt common area.
I don't think anybody wants to definitively say. I mean, I'm not speaking for anybody else, but I can't definitively say what exactly every single twinkling light is or whatever.
So, now wait a minute. You guys just got done with a experiment, and you caught this neighbor allegedly walking down his trash can. And then not only did you record that allegedly, according to you, but then not you, because of course you got to have plausible deniability, but then somebody from that team went and spoke to that person, right? Yet, why are they talking like there's no mention of this? You would think this would be huge. It'd be the biggest thing they'd be talking about.
But we have a much better idea of what paths there would be and whatnot. And also, we wanted to clear up. I mean, really, our goal is not to just put out. We have a ton of surveillance footage. This is not the trash trucks came through it.
Yeah, I'd love to wear it when I go live on Sebastian. I'd like to get a Sebastian shirt as well, of course.
That's shot at 5:09, 5:10 in the morning, not at 3 a.m. Because the trash trucks.
I'm telling you right now, this, and I've showed you this before, this is exactly why that's a bunch of BS. Is because this is a big family that lives here, right? You see their trash cans, they're not out. According to him, and I think I even have it right here, if we continue playing it, he says, shortly after this clip, the garbage man guy comes. Well, that means this guy would have missed the trash morning. And again, you've seen how many vehicles, it's a big family, right? And yeah, I doubt they're going to be missing trash day, right? With a big family. So no, it is not at 5 a.m. It's at 3.
Come right after that. And keep in mind the original video is much longer and it shows the trash trucks. So, and we put images of the trash trucks working up and down Kellen and one on Stafford. We have, there's 4 or 5 other angles of it, but those, people don't want to believe the timestamps. They don't have to.
We draw a 40-degree angle from. This is what we see.
Mob crew, the man taking the trash down the driveway said he heard the trash truck and remembered he needed to take the trash out. Allegedly, he wouldn't hear trash trucks until after 5 a.m., not 3 a.m. Right, yeah. I mean, they're trying to claim, this video's at 5 a.m., but of course, it's not. It's not. Because again, just these trash cans alone tell you that no, this isn't 5 a.m. or just as the trash truck guy's coming, because we would see the actual homeowner running out his trash can because it's a big family. Anyway, and there's tons of other arguments, but that's just one of many. But anyway, so just to continue off that, and I definitely want to get on chat, but me just a second. Boy, I do. Wait. Okay, I do. All right. So the other thing, and then like I said, I do want to take some time to like just recheck, because Friday I was just burning through stuff because I had like two hours worth of stuff to go over. Here's the other thing that's just absolutely ridiculous, and not only him, but Crispy claims this as well. And again, I kind of wasn't 100% sure, and of course I was focused on so many different things, but he talks about a light being anchored, right? And I thought he was trying to kind of say that the floodlights are anchored, but no, he's talking about subject one.
So we start, and that goes for, whether it be vertical or horizontal. Well, what we found was that those were deviating. So those were two separate light sources.
So
and
those are not one vehicle.
No, they're not. And so, and also the color temperature and the, AI being able to actually. So
here is me overlaying just the static photo screenshot of the 3 a.m. the one the FBI put out, and then I lined up the floodlights the best I can. Now keep in mind what they are claiming, because this was something that I kind of was thinking they were talking about, but I thought, well, maybe he's trying to be cryptic and he's talking about the floodlights. But no, he is saying that subject one is anchored. Now, just think about that. These floodlights, they're anchored. They're not moving anywhere. And even Crispy says this, and we'll listen to this, which is just nonsense. But what they try to say is subject one, because, everything, when I play it, although I kind of fixed it for the most part, not 100% because I didn't have enough time, but how things are kind of bouncing around, right? Well, if subject one is anchored, even though if it's moving around and it's a light, right? Like a solid light, like a floodlight, a different floodlight. Well, this should just stay there, even though if it's bouncing around, right? That should stay there, and subject two should just be moving along, right? So you should have the floodlights and subject one, and then subject two just moving, even though things are kind of moving around, right? Well, let's look at this when we stabilize it.
Actually determine a shape based on what pixels were being used or not. It didn't match up with taillights. So what the AI was telling us is that one of them was just anchored, and the other was moving and was very likely a flashlight, which gave us a lot of hope that maybe that was Sebastian. And then it was just kind of like dumb luck. As they're doing this test, the cameras are rolling, and a light
did I not
starts moving across. So we start, and that goes for, whether it be vertical or horizontal. Well, what we found was that those were deviating. So those were two separate light sources.
So
and
those are not one vehicle.
No, they're not. And so, and also the color temperature and the AI being able to actually determine a shape based on what pixels were being used or not, didn't match up with taillights. So what the AI was telling us is that one of them was just anchored.
Okay, so I did play that. I'm sorry, I was reading chat and I just I guess I completely missed. But yeah, so he's basically saying subject one is anchored, like I just said. But as we play this, as you're listening to him spout up nonsense, well, subject one drifts off the screen, which if it's anchored and if it's still, there should be no separation. These should be, if they're anchored, they should be the same distance apart, no matter, even if it's bouncing around. Wherever we take a screenshot of it, the floodlights and subject one should always be the same distance apart if it's anchored.
And the other was moving and was very likely.
But there it goes.
a flashlight, which gave us a lot of hope that maybe that was Sebastian. And then it was just kind of like dumb luck.
And there it goes. Well, wait a minute. We still have the floodlights. Shouldn't subject 1 still be here? Even though, yeah, it's bouncing around, and I didn't have time to stabilize every frame. But we have an issue here. Where's subject 1 at? Anyway, absolutely ridiculous to try to pass this off. And again, according to them, if I did just debunk them and they were, in it for the truth, wouldn't that be like, oh shit, we might need to go back and look at this? Even if, let's say, that was a guy taking out his trash can, which we know they lied about, but just in their nonsense theory, because that's the only thing they can get to work is say subject 1 is anchored. So, subject 2, we'll try to explain. But again, just debunk that, showing that, yes, this, not only does it move, but it moves off camera. If this is an anchored floodlight or something, it should be there the entire time. But no, it's not. So again, what is your response to that? And of course, we know we won't get one, right? Because they're not, interested in the truth. No surprise. But again, it pisses me off. So moving on to the next thing. I had a couple, and I want to read chat here. The search warrant. Okay, so I did find some interesting stuff because I have been trying to look into that. Be in Florida. That's great. Subject 1 is anchored to the crime, in my opinion. That is funny. Right, corrupt. Yeah. Just no shoes alone. Yeah. And now the whole new thing is they're claiming he made it 7 miles to a dam. Which, it's interesting bringing this up, not to get, because I'm ADD, so I'll go all over the place. But just to argue this, this whole thing that, because he told Nerdy, all these details. And one of them is that the search dogs went south, and then eventually cadaver dogs got involved. Well, do you guys remember that a certain group of people came? Do I have it? Oh, I have so much. But a certain narc divers. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. Narc divers. You guys remember the call? He talks about the dogs. Well, narc divers. It's in their name. They're divers. They're because they heard about the retention pond. So wait a minute. Now you're trying to say, over a year later that, this nonsense that he made it down past part of this creek or dam, and you had narc divers come a long time ago, and you just tell them a story that, 5 dogs went, 5 different directions, never mentioning him making it to a creek or a dam? Like, wouldn't that be like a huge detail to let them know you've got, not everybody, a lot of people can go out and search, but not a lot of people that have equipment like narc divers, where they can go out with a boat, and have equipment, but yet you failed to mention that? Get out of here. Right, Pocahontas. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, I am doing, believe me, I yeah, we're just getting started with the thorn in the side. I'm going to have a Twitter blitz. I don't do a lot of Twitter, but believe me, because of this nonsense, catching him in such a nasty, disturbing lie, I don't think it's as big as the one where they tried to claim Sebastian was seen on the camera on the anniversary. I think that's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, bar none, in a missing persons case. Thanks to Fish Sticks and the team. I don't think you can get any lower than that. But not far from that is trying to lie about a neighbor walking out his trash can, and then here we debunk it in epic fashion, which, again, it's disgusting. I did want to talk about this because, again, I was a little wary of the whole warrant, but then I found this, and this actually gave me a little bit of hope. Now, we know that there was a criminal warrant talked about on the thing, and I even have the audio of that. As a matter of fact, let me play the audio while I do this. Oh gosh, hopefully.
CBT
Yeah, but
tonight,
you
which
split
is
it into
10 p.m.
people.
MST from the Mississippi River.
But there's always a possibility if.
Oh shit! Okay, hold on, coming. Okay, you may hear me in the background. I'm playing Warzone. I apologize. I didn't know I had the mic recording, so you may hear me because I was recording a 3-hour live. And so I was playing a game with my buddies, and so you might hear me like cursing if you know where Warzone is. Anyway,
I
Call
think
of
the
Duty.
only people that they know that.
Another question that's come up several times, and I've been meaning to ask it, but I couldn't remember if you already addressed it at the beginning or not. This rumor and, quite frankly, videos and everything else being put out there that a criminal warrant was served on y'all this morning. Any truth to?
So again, this, I believe, correct me if you guys know the day. I think this was like March. Now, remember, Nerdy claims that Crispy told him that they came, and it was allegedly he even had a date, February 7th, where they had a search warrant and they seized stuff. So I found something because, again, my contacts are kind of in the middle. Sorry, guys. I am trying to find this. Down in this one? Oh, here we go. Perfect. Yes, so Sassy, that's a great question. So, I was wondering, I'm trying to piece this together because, again, he says the search warrant happened before this criminal warrant. But I do wonder if they're connected. And let me know what you guys think. Seashells. Hey, we get some rain. Nice. Oh, good old Warzone. Yeah, if you hear me, yeah. Because Warzone's free, and as long as you have internet and a system. And, yeah, anyway. I didn't realize the mic was on, so you can hear me, just being boys. Okay. So what's interesting is this is from TBI. Obviously, it was updated earlier this year. And I found it interesting about this. Let me get to it here. Okay. And so this gives me hope because, again, April 2nd. Thank you, girl mom. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. It was like late March or April. Okay. All right. So, I totally agree. I totally agree. But I do think he definitely talked to him because just the stuff that he kind of mentions, I have no doubt. I'd say 99%. He clearly went out there, right? He's got footage of it. And yeah, I do believe he spoke with Crispy. Because there's, he has no idea who Bobby was, but, he talks about this Bobby. Anyway, God, the whole Bobby stuff, it's just ridiculous. I mean, these are adults, and wow, your stepson's missing, and that's, the direction you want to go. It's disgusting. All right, so here's TBI, and this is from their site. And so here's a question. What about the technology aspect? Have you collected security video from areas, homes, and businesses? Have cell phones been checked? Sorry, frog in my throat. Answer. Many neighbors and businesses have provided video from home and business surveillance systems. It's interesting, businesses. Be kind of curious that they even acknowledge businesses. Now, I don't know. Would you consider a school? I mean, is school a business? Anyway, we are grateful for the cooperation. The video has been collected and from the beginning of the investigation has been analyzed and enhanced where possible by tech experts, TBI, FBI, Secret Service to date. Nothing gathered from these videos systems have determined to be significant. Obviously, if you follow true crime like I have and others, they're not going to show their cards, and they're not going to say we have something until there's an arrest or whatever, right? They're going to keep stuff close to the vest. We do caution that some surveillance video may be misinterpreted. Moving on. It has been determined that here we go. Right here. Numerous search warrants have been executed. Cell phone data has been analyzed and other available digital evidence has been collected, searched, and documented. So we know, we've heard even Seth say, we collected his cell phone data. He handed over whatever they wanted, including his gaming system, I think, or whatever. But numerous search warrants have been executed, which now kind of coming, full circle from what we heard earlier, I find that interesting and does kind of give me hope that whole alleged search warrant did actually happen. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And could it be that, so if this happened on February, he says February 7th, maybe, it was just sometime in February. Could that criminal warrant, which was criminal, it was definitely a criminal warrant, we can look that up, not a summons, could that be tied to this? Whereas it's not, that was when they did the search warrant, but this is something where maybe they did do a search warrant, in February. And then while they're analyzing that, was there something that they found within, a month or whatever, and then, in April, so, about 2 months later, they had found something that they would then need to require some kind of criminal warrant or something else to then further analyze or get more, I don't know, electronics. That's the word I was trying to look for. Let me know what you guys think in chat. But yeah, the burner phone. Yeah, that's been explained. I think we even had Seth in there talking about that in a live previous. And it's all because Seth did have two phones. He's admitted to that a long time ago. He had two phones. And it's just a story that they've twisted. And yeah, I don't want to paraphrase because I don't know. It's a dumb angle, because they first allegedly said that one of the last calls that Sebastian made was to an unknown number. and then allegedly that was to his grandmother, and that this ping came from Clarksville, and it's just got all twisted around. And I think it's just, again, Crispy trying to sidetrack people, right? And no surprise there. I do, in my opinion. I definitely do. Especially after looking at the angle of him, did he actually make it home, right? But yeah, let me just kind of read chat, see what you guys think. But kind of interesting the way they say numerous search warrants have been executed, cell phone data, other available digital evidence. So not only cell phone, but, digital evidence, which obviously could be, a plethora of things, including cameras, the theory, or what Nerdy claims he was told, is that they went in and took surveillance cameras that were installed inside, and also I believe laptops as well. Patricia says, because the search warrant be on CP's vehicle because it's found in the area of the home. Yeah, definitely. I don't know, but certainly. Oh, have they, girl mom? This says updated. Oh. Was that okay? Yeah, if it was, then April 2024. And dang, then that doesn't that would conflict with my theory. If that's true. And I know, girl mom, I know you know your stuff, so interesting. I still think that's a good possibility that happened, though. Yeah, electronic dogs to the landfill, right? Okay. Not a summons, not a subpoena, a criminal warrant, right? And here, let me, before we move on to the next thing, let me just play. God, I wish I would have clipped this a little bit better.
I would think if. Yep. No, he had a shirt on.
Just a thought.
Oh yeah.
Money aspects of this. I will say this much: Sebastian's becoming a teenager. You never know what you're
asking. Is there anything to the lights that
come back and dispute that twice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I would have edited this.
We
faster.
do not know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Without telling us.
Michelle, y'all. Are they talking about the name?
Never came out and said who it was.
Princess Gaga's.
Anybody doesn't think that way. So I don't know if he would have had an opportunity to be bullied, to be honest with you. For him, so yes. Was he interested in learning another language? Yes, ma'am.
Of course there is.
I was asking, did you investigate game charges?
Yeah, I tracked it all the way down on that.
Ask if Sebastian went to school with
children at school out here.
It's not.
Tammy, don't say. Oh, Chris, when Sebastian comes home, we have season 2.
I think I have a stomach infection. Yep, 12 meters.
In the weather.
Hey!
Tornado from the Mississippi.
Knows of major.
So anyway, I can't find it right now. I was doing so much today. But this live, coincidentally, was in... So it was in April. This live is actually the day that he had that criminal warrant that came out. And I find it interesting. This was also when he wanted to come on my channel, because everybody was like blown up because, that thing got released on Twitter, with the call, them mentioning that the criminal warrant for their address. And then, of course, this live happened on that day. And then, it's kind of interesting. And then he wanted to even come on my show, which is, I find kind of suspicious. Like, why, if that's not a big deal and this is all to do with, like, he claims, I think, with Betty or something. Why is he so worried about, producing a narrative or whatever? Very sus. All right, let's switch gears. Okay, I have something for Chris Carr that I want to go over. And I want to be able to read chat. So before we do Chris Carr, and if you don't know who Chris Carr is, this is this is a guy that is the HPD officer, and interestingly enough, has got his house all blurred out. He lives directly behind Crispy. He's the one that let Fish Sticks have some of the surveillance video from that night, which is very interesting that he would allow them to, have that surveillance footage, right? Why not, if you're going to release it to him, why not, put it out there for the public? Why not put it on Twitter, You never know what you may have missed. Fish Sticks thought that the neighbor's son was out there lying in wait, hiding for Sebastian, when all you had to take was 2 minutes to study the video and notice that no, he's just out there with the flashlight getting his cat to come in because, it was getting late. And, he literally picks up the cat and puts him in there. But Fish Sticks even went on as much because you could tell that he didn't even really fully watch the video. Even doubled down and said, well, I doubt he picked up the cat and took it in, which then, of course, he did. But yet, you're going to send footage to him, and that's how he treats footage that's relates to Sebastian's disappearance. That's how serious he takes it, right? So I could only imagine. But, so we'll get to Chris Carr in just a second, but I want to play this little thing from At Night. This was something I was going to do for the members of Patreons. There is something more, because I believe in this one you can hear Katie in the background. There's one of them. And I do want to... sorry. I do want to enhance the audio, so if we can hear, as you guys know, I like to enhance audio, and we can hear what... the hell is this? Oh, there it is. Hear what Katie's saying. It would be interesting. So, if you guys haven't heard this, and then we'll get into Chris Carr. I just want to be able to read chat here. Here is a little bit of clip from
Common sense should tell some of you
At Night.
if there is
their kid, and why are Proudfoot is blasted.
my opinion.
To lie to us every time. Sudden, it's anything you say.
Okay. This is At Night. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but doesn't surprise me to put this out. This is something that I wanted to release with the other audio. If you guys heard the one where former PI Heather spoke with Chris and Katie, and Chris does like 99% of the talking. Here's another one where Chloe allegedly was going to say, something about the, they mentioned in here, but this is another phone call with Heather and Crispy, and they're speaking about I don't know if she's like two PIs. I don't know if Chloe's the second PI. I forget. And he goes off on Chloe.
It's everywhere, all over the fucking internet. That people
and just anybody that doesn't Not a big fan of language. Just be careful, or trigger warning, because this is the true Chris Stinkfoot.
Was released on these stupid ass shows and all these fucking Facebook things. It was never out.
You know what? It's kind of quiet. Let me boost this.
Out there until that.
And this is how he talks about women.
Bitch opened her fucking mouth. Telling you, I am being very polite as I can possibly be to her.
Mm-hmm.
If she don't find a fucking way to fix it, I promise her I am not going to be so goddamn pleasant when I see her.
Okay.
And I will bring the fucking cops with me.
All right. Well, I'll talk
And
to
I don't
her.
care
I
how
mean,
there's a difference in helping find Sebastian and just being a stupid fucking cunt.
Digging.
Web slut.
Yeah.
Or sleuth, whatever the fuck that woman's name is.
web sleuths.
Yeah, whatever. It was on that fucking show.
I can't see Chloe just giving out that information though.
She did. You're missing my statement.
Okay.
I didn't say she gave the information out.
So yeah, I forget. I think they'll go into a little bit about what they're talking about. But again, so she didn't actually release, but she just kind of hinted that she had this information, and Crispy went nuts.
Said she made a statement that she had it and wouldn't fucking release it. That right there was a trigger to start this fucking shitstorm when she shouldn't have opened her fucking mouth in the beginning.
Okay.
Let me pause this. Could you imagine what would happen, what may have happened when Sebastian didn't behave right around Crispy with this kind of mouth and attitude, right? Can you only imagine?
I don't know what kind of fucking PI or whatever the fuck she thinks she is or how she does this, but if she needs a fucking education and then schooling on being a PI, I guarantee you I'll find somebody who was.
Yeah, you found a banger. Yeah, fish sticks. Yeah, absolute banger. Man.
Truly a PI and let them school the fuck out of this woman. She started a shit.
Funny, because I've had to school fish sticks ever since he started with this case, and it's absolutely, yeah.
Storm.
Actually,
she better figure out how to fucking fix it. Personally, I think everybody that fucking starts looking for shit
Yeah.
ain't even worth the fucking bacteria of the foam that forms on the fucking worst form of bacteria on Earth.
I mean, just vile, disgusting. I apologize. But I mean, this is a call that I've talked about, I've heard, and it is just so disturbing. I forget, there should be Katie in here somewhere, which is what, part of the reason I wanted to play this. I didn't, again, I apologize for the such, the way he acts. Such a tough guy around females. But again, I believe this is the call where there's Katie in the background at some point.
That's what I truly feel.
Yeah, and I feel you. I hear you. I can feel it through the phone.
Trust me, Chloe's lucky I'm not standing in fucking front of her. Like I said, I will bring the fucking cops when I see her.
Oh, God.
Okay, well...
And it was more my protection than hers. Because right now, you can inform her. She fucking calls me, says my fucking name, anything of that fucking nature involving Katie.
God, I might have to... I knew he F-bombed a lot, but my goodness.
Or me.
Right, and he has a... Oh, my God. Right, and this is why I am, like, again, this is Sebastian, but again, history repeats itself, and now we have another child coming back into this home, or into this, this family, deranged family. And, again, what happens if they were involved? She overhears a conversation she shouldn't. They find out. What's to say they won't, Because if they feel like they've gotten away with it this long, what's to say they wouldn't do it again? If if she had found maybe an email, not an email, but I don't know, something on electronics, or again just overheard a conversation and they found out,
or anybody else, I'm going to slap the shit out of her with the same fucking thing I told you. I'll cease and desist letter, and then let her open her fucking mouth one more time. And then I've got her dead to fucking rights.
I think that's
I'm
the
trying
only...
to be as...
So, yeah, that's... I'm going to release this for the members of Patreons, because, again, it is just foul, but...
What was the purpose of making that statement, knowing full damn good and well that the...
Okay, this is what I wanted to get to. Because... here's Katie in the background.
Not a fucking... Maybe her head's so fucking twisted because she's too emotionally involved. I don't fucking know it, but whatever the fuck it is, she better goddamn fucking figure it out and redial herself the fuck back in. Fuck is this bitch on fucking T?
My God, holy hell! I knew he F-bombed. I'm sorry, guys. Wow.
Seth can have his fucking PIs. I don't need PIs.
So
there's Katie.
She opened her mouth, made the statement. She's the catalyst to the fucking storm that is now brewing. It doesn't take much. I can go out there, open my mouth, say one fucking word, and I can almost break the fucking internet. Look what I did the other night when I got on that shit.
Yeah, imagine if your CPS reports came out. That would break the damn internet. That would break the internet. Again, think about this, and then what could have happened when Sebastian was not behaving right with a person with this kind of attitude.
Show when you said I wanted on the show, that shit fucking almost broke the fucking internet. No, that's the one time I went out there and stated the fucking facts. I didn't go berserk. No, I'm fucking...
So anyway, there's Katie in the background. This will be for the members, and then maybe I'll release it to everybody. But she's talking in the background. I don't know if she's just having a conversation with somebody else and it's just kind of being overheard. But it'd be interesting, what's being said.
Pissed. There's a difference in berserk and stupid, psychotic. Reminded me how anything... And I've even told you this, how the certain things that y'all have done on fucking YouTube and to do with anything. Says there's no clues, there's nothing up to what y'all have released. Got a friend of mine who is highly respected. And all of a sudden, he made a good point. He didn't tell me that. And I was like, you know what? You're very valid on that. Very valid.
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
But
what purpose it serves to bring...
What does he mean by that? Wait, one more time, and then we'll move on to the next thing. And I apologize for the language.
Says there's no clues, there's nothing up to what y'all have released. Got a friend of mine who is highly respected. And all of a sudden, he made a good point. He didn't tell me that. And I was like, you know what? You're very valid on that. Very valid.
On what?
Information that's out there that actually has nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
But
what purpose it serves to bring through my...
So you hear Katie in the background again. That's something I want to...
Let's just be honest. I was violent. Violent.
Oh, she is. Oh, she is Miss Moonlight. I will reveal that because she is saying that.
Just be honest. I was violent.
And yeah, she goes quiet when she says that.
Purpose it serves to bring through my... let's just be honest. I was violent.
Now, who was it? Right? Hey, B. Oh, thank you. Love to you as well. I appreciate that, B. Grace and peace. Great.
I mean, I don't understand why that needs to be.
Well,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I gotta get up and get ready to go to work. I don't have my Go Fucking Fund Me page to pay my bills.
Let's jump straight.
Wow. I need to definitely go, because I know the original call, and obviously I can definitely bring up her audio, especially with the call that's in such a good quality. So I will definitely do that, and then eventually, members, Patreons, and I'll eventually release it to everybody, have an upcoming live or something. But yeah, maybe what I'll do, if I can, is I'll take her parts and then just put them together, right? So we maybe, I don't know, have more context of what, because yeah, it sounds like she is talking to somebody else on a phone. Interesting. Very interesting.
Him sort of toggling between two personas.
Yeah, like what?
Well, on one hand, you've got the aggrieved victim. He uses language like living nightmare, very emotional.
Okay.
But then there's the defensive subject, displaying, hostility, but indirectly towards critics online, calling them YouTubers and Facebookers.
Interested.
And the most telling pattern.
And then where does he go? Because obviously this is early on, right? Within a couple of months, at most, within Sebastian's disappearance. And then where is he at now? He's all over the YouTubers, right? We are listening to a call between a PI, a former PI that was hired by Seth, right? Because Seth wants answers, unlike the stink feet. And this was a recorded phone call. And then apparently he had another PI that was working with them called Chloe. And I guess Chloe was on a YouTube live or something like this. And she kind of mentioned, she didn't actually say what was going on, but she kind of hinted that she had some information that was kind of disturbing, that would be against, the Proudfoot. And that's all she said. And then it related to this. I might have I think I got the main details right, if anyone wants to correct me in chat. But I think that's kind of like the gist of it. But yeah. I mean, that's the real crispy, right? It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Let's see what time it is. Okay, 7:21. And I do want to do, some other cases, but there's a reason why, especially, we've been focusing a lot on Sebastian for multiple reasons. Obviously, last week we uncovered the I can find it. We were looking at this, and we uncovered that, figured out what this void was. Again, just trying to think outside the box and trying to do everything I can to look at all angles, and that was something that bothered me. And then I went back and looked at some drone footage, and then it was like, whoa, holy shit, there's a bunch of divots in the middle of the road, and those are voids at the crown of the road because the road is concave. And, because the guy had his, this neighbor that has the surveillance, he's got a boat. He's had multiple boats, and you can see where he's kind of, high-centered or dragged the ball, and tore up the concrete in the road as he's, either taking out his boat or putting it back in. So yeah, kind of interesting on that. So let me, because I don't want to go too long and I want to read some more chat. I have been, as we've been going on. Oh, thank you, Jenny. I know it's hilarious. We're getting one for Fish Sticks. We're gonna do a members live, and we're gonna kind of put one together as a team. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I mean, you can now F-bomb on lives. I think at a certain point, if it goes too much, then you get kind of demonetized. I think I was okay. I think I paused it enough, but yeah, he's disgusting. He's disgusting. He's a pig. And a monster. Anyway, let me read you guys some stuff, and then let's read chat, and then kind of finish up and answer if you guys have any questions, because I didn't really get to read chat as much. But let me just go over. Let's see. Do I got it up? Oh, I do. I do. Okay, let me see how I'm going to do this. Okay. All right, I won't be able to read chat while I do this. I'll try to kind of peek over. Oh, jeez. All right, so for those that may or may not know, this is Chris Carr. He's the HPD officer. He's the one, do you guys remember when they had a vigil that, of course, the Proudfoot has never gone to any vigil. Keep that in mind. And they had a vigil not long after Sebastian went missing. And he ended up being there, and he actually kind of made a little bit of a scene where he was saying, oh my gosh, this is really bad, and this is not good. And again, multiple people noted this because it was like, you know, it stood out, right? And let me take a sip here. He's also the one that allegedly, rumor has it, there's, rumor that Crispy and KK are swingers. And there is evidence to back that up. And there's also talk that, because obviously Crispy was out of town a lot. And then, of course, when the whole thing with Sebastian, where he couldn't be around Sebastian, which means he could only come home every other weekend, really, when Sebastian was gone. And I'm sure that didn't drive a wedge between their marriage, right? No motive there. And then on top of that, this HPD officer, Chris Carr, allegedly was having an affair with Katie. So I have some interesting information for you guys. Now, of course, I'm just going to say up front, this is all alleged, but there is some very interesting stuff. And oh my gosh, I meant to get to this earlier. Angel of Light sent 5 Mob Crew memberships. Thank you so much, Angel of Light. I appreciate the support. Could use it more than now than ever. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I wanted to get to it much earlier and just got distracted. But thank you. And if you did get gifted a Mob Crew membership by anybody, if you could, just please, if you could, thank them. Yeah, just checking. Okay. All right. So let's get into Chris. Not a lot, but I just want to go over some interesting details. Oh, the new emoji. I was thinking you were talking about the fish sticks one. Yeah, fish sticks one we're going to come up with. Maybe we'll hopefully have it by Tuesday. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit about Crispy. He also, when they went to go search for him, he was like there immediately that morning. He's on that call with the dispatch. They're like, yeah, we've got the HPD officer. He's driving around with me as they were going home to home, which is, again, a little suspicious. That's funny, Julie. You never know. You never know. I'm not going to judge, for sure. Oh, thank you, Lori. God bless you. All right, so let's go over some some facts and rumors, but we'll just kind of say a lot of these are rumors. But there's some interesting things in here. And I know some of these at the beginning, I'm going to tell you, are 100% true because there are listings, or were. Okay. Chris Carr. He had a home. He had his home listed for sale on MLS, which is multi licensing sites or something like that. Yeah, just basically like Willow or Zillow. They call it Willow. Zillow, stuff like that. Basically, you know, ways to advertise. And the Carr home became active on real estate. So his property went coming soon, one day after Sebastian's disappearance. One day after. The real estate listing went active on March 9th. So that would have been 10, 11 days later. It had, so just like Zillow, you know, you can go just like we can with the Proudfoot's home. We can look at, you know, the photos of the previous homeowners or just after they left. And you can see inside the home, right? Everything. So all those were up. Everything was up, the interior and exterior. On the 11th day, all the photos except for the front exterior were removed. Now, there is belief that, well, we know he had surveillance. Remember, he's an HPD officer. He had surveillance in his backyard. Very good surveillance. It was a Nest camera. I'm sure he probably had cameras facing his home and probably cameras inside as well. So I'm sure he had more than just one camera. Also on the 11th day, the home's price was reduced and they offered a $10,000 towards closing costs. Now, I've never been a homeowner, so some of the stuff's like, I kind of understand what they're saying, but not 100%. But they reduced the price and they offered a $10,000 towards buyer's closing cost. This was not normal at the time for the housing market in our area. On March 24th, 15 days on the market, the home was abruptly taken off the market. So you list it on March 9th, and 15 days later, you take it off the market. What else happens on March 24th? Well, that was a Sunday. That's an unusual day to conduct the business of removing a home on an active MLS. Although real estate agents often work on the weekends. They generally are showing houses, hosting open houses, and writing offers. Taking a home off the market on a Sunday is absolutely out of the norm. Also, Sunday, March 24th. That day, Crispy and KK packed up the RV and took off for Memphis, South Haven. Coincidence? Guy puts up their home. 15 days later, takes it off the market. And that same day, Crispy and KK go to take a vacation while, you know, her son is missing, you know. Literally less than a month since her son went missing, they go out and leave. He was also part of a formal search with Sebastian during the first week. As a searcher, Chris Carr would have a geolocator that would tell others not to search any areas which he had cleared. This was done by all searchers to prevent redundancy, which I get, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, don't look over here. Chris Carr and his family members are well connected to Sumner County. In addition to the fact he grew up and worked as an HPD officer, his brother-in-law is a very wealthy, successful business owner. They run with major players in Sumner County in Middle Tennessee. The brother-in-law, Doug Roundtree, owns Pioneer Coach. It's a multi-million-dollar company that leases, builds, maintains, and sells custom motor coaches, the kinds that entertainers and celebrities use. They also have a staff of drivers. It's a huge company. And Crispy allegedly works for him as a director of operations for the production transport side. Huh. Pretty sus. Sorry guys, I'll read chat here in just a minute. Yeah, there's more. Oh god, yeah, there's a lot more. But that's a little taste. We'll probably do another part because again, I've been, yeah. So I'll see what I can do to get maybe some receipts for that as well. I know that comes from a very trust source. I cannot say who that is, of course. But I also want to say, people have been sending me Word documents of like timelines and stuff. There's one thing, if anybody can send me the video where Crispy talks about the Wi-Fi, and I'm not talking about the one on Elevated Truth. There's another one where he talks about, and I'm sure it's probably with Clue or maybe Queen Bee, where they talk about the Wi-Fi. And there's something in there that he mentioned, but I couldn't find it, but it's very interesting. So I would love if anybody could send me that. And then on top of that, if anybody has, a Word document, don't really prefer Excel. I know Excel's great, but anybody has like details, timelines, maybe of certain, maybe when they left. Actually, it'd be great if anybody has a good timeline of where they were at after they left. That's one aspect I really haven't looked into. I've always been kind of focused more on the 3M lights and, around he went missing. But it'd be nice to maybe get that information. Again, I can't say a lot, but I'm telling you guys, good things are happening. And I personally am putting stuff together because, it's good to, remind FBI and TBI and send them, in my opinion, legit tips that are, that are in a cohesive manner. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but I think you guys know what I'm understanding. Something that's easily digestible, not something that's convoluted, but, something that they can look at. And it's just got, points and, yeah. And so that's what I'm trying to do on the behalf of Seth. And of course, just as importantly, Sebastian Rogers. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. That's I love that. Thank you so much for coming to members, supporting the channel. God bless. I would not be surprised, Linda. I do wonder about that. Oh, you didn't know he could be around Sebastian? Yeah, there was up to 5 CPS reports. And I don't know if it was the last one or the second to last one, like the last 2 recent ones. One of those, yeah, he could not. Yeah, so he couldn't be home. So keep this in mind for anybody that doesn't know. Sebastian, Katie had, basically full custody. More or less full custody. I don't know if temporary. I'm not. Again, if I'm wording this wrong, but the father Seth could only see him every other weekend. So keep that in mind. So, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know, maybe a Friday night. I don't know if he left Friday night and then left. So really 2 full days. So if you really think about that, 4 to, I guess it depends on, extended month and the weeks, but really 4 to maybe 6 days a month does Seth get to see his son, which on the opposite side of that means for approximately 52 weeks, correct me if I'm wrong in chat, Crispy could not be around Sebastian, which means he had to go stay at his mama's house or somewhere nearby, but he could not be around Sebastian. So that means he couldn't be around his mom, his wife, unless Sebastian was with his father. So that means the reverse. He only got to see Katie 4 to 6 times a month within that last year, or less than it. I forget the exact. I want to say 52 weeks, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, keep that in mind. And of course, this whole time, Seth was trying to get custody, and Katie was trying to get the father to have full custody because it was driving a wedge between Katie and Crispy. Because obviously, can't really have a relationship, right? When they're only seeing each other. I mean, you can, but clearly from going to sleeping in your own bed to now, because of whatever you did to Sebastian to create another CPS report against you, now you can't be in your own home when he's there. Yeah, I don't know if I have that many videos, but wish I had that many subscribers. Love to get to that. Chris, could you play the SF video? Yeah, we could finish with that. As long as it's not too long, though. I've already went longer than I wanted to. I really just wanted to go an hour. But thank you, mods. Oh my gosh, why is Outlook such a pain in my ass?
I'm Sora 2, the new AI in town.
We're not afraid. Artless got.
All right, this is a quick one for my people who don't utilize.
Oh God, it's White Boy Lockdown. Oh my God, this guy's a nut. Oh God, yeah. So this is why I try to keep my true identity, not out there, right? Because we've seen a lot of crazy stuff. We've seen YouTubers kill other YouTubers, right? And there's a lot of psychos out there. I don't know this guy, but this is kind of the guy that scares me, because it's like, I don't know. That's 8 minutes. Ugh.
Essentially, this is SF's video, and I'm putting it on YouTube in a way, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to crab off SF. I like and respect SF. So y'all, I need y'all to catch up and start getting. It's nothing. It's free to download Twitter, okay? But I keep you updated, and with no further ado, let's get into the demolishment.
I had to make this video because it's just so infuriating. Here we go again with Mob Crew trying to turn something that's nothing into something that he needs for his fantasy land. He thinks he's got, he's figured something out with the FBI and the Secret Service.
Oh God, you a little worried about that? Wow. I mean, wouldn't you? Okay, first off, before we go any further, wouldn't you be like, I'm saying I got stuff for the FBI. Wouldn't you be like supportive of that, right? If it leads to finding Sebastian, right? Already start with that argument. Why are you worried about what I may or may not have? A little worried? So this is 5 months ago. So keep that in mind. at least for this video uploaded. So I'm not even sure. I mean, I'm assuming this is just your. Oh yeah, so it's referring to my using AI. So yeah, this was like April-ish.
Service and TBI and Sumner County hasn't been able to do. Here we go with the lights video again. Now he's using AI, right? Even though we actually produced an AI generated report, but based on an.
Oh yeah, now great report, by the way. Great report. Yeah. And then I've just caught you guys lying, and just wait what I got for Twitter, guys. Just wait. And we'll do a live show, and I'll do it live where I'm going to produce a bunch of shorts, and we're going to post them on Twitter. And then, I try not to ask for a lot, but, if we could get people to, like it and try to share it and kind of get it trending. Because I promise you guys, I'm going to upload some really funny short stuff that, these debunks that I've done that are just, trust me. Okay, so, all right.
Actual model used in crime scene environments. He's using Grok.
And I saw you use Grok. Oh, I want to use the F-bomb right now. Oh my God, you are just, dude, he's not right in the head, man. This guy is, oof. I have a screenshot of him with a Grok thing talking about this case. Oh my God, you.
And what he's done is he's trying to fool everybody into thinking that Grok is supporting all of his stupid fucking theories.
Oh man, he's mad. Now I'll say this, and I admitted it. I admit it all the time. You can influence AI. Let me know in the chat for those of my regular OGs. I've told you guys when I use AI. And I'm like, when there's something that's a little more, because sometimes, it's like, okay, this is pretty legit. And there's others where I know you can influence it. I have said that so many times. You can influence AI. And that goes for all AI.
And they're not. He's just feeding it all the data. It says right here, distance calculation. Determine the distance. We use the provided distances. He's provided all this, and I'll show you in a minute. And there's a reason.
Yeah, and I did. I provided those distances. Now I told you guys, and I would admit, when you do this and you try to recreate it, you'll probably get different distances. Again, and I of course I have no problem admitting that, because again, I have nothing to hide, and I'm not trying to lie or create a narrative.
And that this is all blurry, and it's because he doesn't want you to see that. But
it's all blurry because of your recording. It's a recording. Yeah, it's hard when you start trying to make up nonsense, and you could tell when he lies, right? Oh my God, like he does that same thing where he starts
freeze frame some of his stuff.
God, I can read it from here. I don't even have it full screen. I know it's probably hard for you guys. Are you kidding? Did you really just say that I have this blurry for a reason? Are you shitting me? I can read this.
Well, let me show you a couple others.
You worried?
Hold on a sec.
You worried?
This guy, I swear to God. So this is what this flashed by on the screen. I captured it. This is what he's fed the AI model.
Right. Yeah. And of course, obviously I showed that to you guys because I have nothing to hide, right? I'm going to be as transparent as shit, right? So, yeah, of course I showed that. No wonder you can see that whole thing, because obviously if I just wanted to fool you guys, I would leave all that out and go, hey, look, it produced this amount of feet. I know where he's going with this. But yeah, I've already talked about this, but I'll talk about it again.
So this is what it's going to spit back. Photo 1 is a security camera, which is H.264 megapixel IP camera. Photo 2 has a Dodge Ram truck. And he goes on to tell it photo 2 also has a single cab pickup truck, 17 feet, it's approximately 40 feet from the camera. Photo 2 has a floodlights in the red circle, so he's telling it what it is. So now it doesn't have a choice to tell you anything different.
Well, yeah, I got to explain what that is. It's floodlights, and I'm just the main thing is the distance from the floodlights, right? Doesn't matter if I tell if it's floodlights or not. It's about the distance, because the whole study, the whole produce is to get the distance of the lights. For anybody that doesn't know, like what I'm trying to do, what I tried to do with this is I basically wanted to, let's go to a good one here. Sorry for all the nonsense. Oh, gosh darn it. So basically what I said is, so I gave it the camera information, which is 100% correct. And then I said approximately everything. You can see it in there. I say, okay, I believe this is approximately 8 feet from the camera. I believe this dodge, and of course I try to give as much detail so it knows the dimensions of the vehicle, because the more data, the better for it, right? So I try to give it dimensions of what I think the vehicle may be. I say approximate how far, and then I say, okay, well, if this is coming from the home on 106, this is from the camera approximately 287 feet.
Approximately 287 feet from the security camera, and the floodlight in the yellow circles at 149 feet from the security camera. The distance between the two, blah, blah, blah. Photo 2 has a flashlight in the green circle. So now the AI model has to assume that that is a flashlight.
The whole thing is to find out how far the flashlight is. See how he's taking this completely? The objective of this question, and it's going to be right at the end, so he's going to say it out loud, or he may not. It's at the end. The main question is what do you think the distance is from subject 2 from the camera? Nothing else matters. I don't care what the AI thinks of the lights or the temperature. That is not the purpose of the question, you fucking idiot. Sorry.
Because he wants it to be a flashlight, but he's going to be like, oh my God, look, the AI model told us that's what it is.
No, and I didn't. No.
Photo 3 has 2 lights in the purple circle, believed to be from an unknown car headlights and taillights. So, of course, now it's going to say, okay, these are headlights and taillights.
But that's not my question. Why don't you get down to the question? Because if my question was, what do you think these lights are? Well, then I wouldn't tell it. I may say, well, I believe this could be, but this isn't the answer I'm asking.
This is what I've been told to model it after. Photo 4 has a Google top-down image, blah, blah, blah. He's giving it everything he wants it.
Well, yeah, I'm giving it as much data because that's what it needs. I know he's trolling, but I'm just going to just shit on him for a minute.
To have.
No, oh, yep, I knew it. I called it. What did I say? I called it. What did he do? He did not read the end. If he would have read the end, it would have completely just shit on everything he just mentioned. Here, let me just read you the end part. I know it's kind of cut over. I'm sorry, because I have to go full screen to kind of read it. It's partly in there. So here's the question after I gave it all its data. Using all this data, what is the distance from the lights in the purple circle? So I circled subject 2 because I had to circle, like different colors for different objects, right? So I could tell, hey, this truck in the green circle is approximately this amount of feet away, and this is the type of vehicle I think it is, and so I circled, give as much information I can. Here's the damn question. Using all this data, what is the distance from the lights in the purple circle to the security camera, and what do you think is coming from the unknown vehicle? But the main question is what do you think is the distance from the light in the purple circle to the security camera? Notice how he completely Skip that. You piece of dog shit.
You have. And then it even, it says here, the user explicitly states the lights in the purple circle are believed to be from an unknown car, headlights and taillights.
But yes, this is not my question. This is just giving extra data, right?
It's even saying caution. The user states, this is not AI giving you this. It's such BS, man. I mean, you gotta quit.
All right.
You gotta quit researching Sebastian Rogers, right?
Been loaded to lithium up
Don't
for grabs.
look up Sebastian
Let's
Rogers'
go.
case.
Uhura
Don't
in,
research
Kirk on
my
the
work.
bridge.
Don't.
Time to move.
Don't question
Scamming
things.
on Sebastian Rogers. This is just
Wait,
out
what?
of.
Did you say scamming?
On, and I mean, you gotta quit scamming on Sebastian Rogers. This is just out of fucking control, dude.
Are you? Oh my God, he is lit. I wonder why he's mad. That tells you that I'm on the right path then. Because he knows that I'm trying to do. I've done so much and I'm trying to go outside the box in so many different ways. And a lot of you guys know this. Like, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I have studied this 3M video forwards, backwards, sideways, you name it. I've spent more time than anybody. The videos that we have. I can probably guarantee you I've studied it more than FBI, TBI, the ones that we have. Of course, they have other stuff. But I guarantee there's nobody else I fucking have nightmares and dreams of that footage. I can close my eyes and see every bit of it. It is burned into my brain. One of the last things that'll probably go through my brain when I die will be this 3 a.m. video. And that is no joke. Holy shit, he is upset.
Stop it. Move on. Get a goddamn job.
Ooh.
Seriously. This is just grifting. And he goes on like, oh my God, you're not going to believe
Had more
this.
for you guys.
Oh, it's like
so I'm using Grok.
Thing ever. Yeah.
It's been updated. It's a great AI system.
Right.
Gives you a lot of detailed information. You can do deep dive searches on it. Explains a lot. How it's coming to the conclusions that it does.
Because you gave it the conclusions.
It's truly amazing.
It is, right, in your mind.
So again,
really
I fed it the distances, right? And so I asked it between, the other thing I also did, so I gave it an X and a Y, right? Because, you need an X and a Y access to kind of get an idea to feed the algorithm. I also told the algorithm. He's having some kind of breakdown. Can you hear him as I'm talking? He is bewildered. He is frustrated. I am looking into Sebastian trying to think outside the box, and he is, oh my God. I wonder, does he do this more often than we know? Hey Seth, good to see you. Let's not talk about burnt images inside the minor nightmares that occur. But hopefully you take that as, I'm one person. I'm just trying to, do what I can on what I feel I can. My abilities are best at. But yeah, prayers for you and yeah, man. Holy hell, between the red circle and the yellow circle.
Yeah,
so now it knows
in the red circle and the yellow circle. You told it that it was a flashlight, and you told it was a headlight and a taillight.
Yes.
Why don't you just analyze what are these?
No, I already did that. I already did that probably either earlier that day or probably 5 days ago or a week ago or 2 weeks ago. You idiot.
He did, and that it came back with a flashlight, and it came back with a fixed mounted light. It can do that based on pixel level detection, but you didn't use it that way. You told it to back you up.
Yeah, because I already went there. Oh my God.
So what I did is I went in the Grok, because later in your live you show this screenshot. You're like, oh, I took out all the information I gave it and opened a new Twitter tab, and I asked it, what's in the purple circle in this image? And
and that's true too. Yeah, because you can start influencing. You can influence AI. You start saying, "Hey, I believe it's a flashlight. Now I know it's a flashlight." Yeah, you can influence it. So I'll reset it and then try not. Of course, depending on what is my goal or my question, right? But the goal of that one was the distance.
You came back saying, oh, it said it was a headlight and a taillight. Well, because Grok remembers that just because you started a new tab, it remembers everything.
That is a little bit true, but you can it'll still, because they've updated Grok. Part of that is true. And again, I have no problem admitting that because I have nothing to hide. Like I said, you can influence AI, but you can reset it, and you can, you try to be real vague. It just depends on what you're trying to, what's your question, right?
You've given it. It's a learning model. That's what AI is, you bucking dummy. And so what I did is in my account, which doesn't have I don't use Grok to analyze shit.
Did he just say that? He said that, didn't he? Oh, okay. I don't have enough time because we're running late. Oh my God. I literally have screenshots. Do you remember when he talked about the temperature? Do you know what he pulled up when he talked about the temperature? He had Grok. Thanks, Seth. I appreciate that. We're fighting as hard as we can. I appreciate that, and I hope you get answers soon. Yeah, please show Seth some love, man. My God, he needs it. And thank you to everybody in here. Let's finish this up here.
That's like something Hong would do. But what I did is I went ahead and I did ask it, because that was the only image that I've ever fed it. And
he's starting to get, All right. You can tell when he lies because he starts to get, he gets quiet. He's got these spaces.
I asked the exact same question that you said in your live. You asked it. I gave it this image, which you used, and I asked it what type of light is in the purple circle, and it came back and said the image appears to be from a thermal or infrared camera, which that security camera is infrared, often used in military or surveillance contexts, such as FLIR. Not the case here. The purple circle highlights an object that is emitting or reflecting heat, which is captured as infrared light. In thermal imaging, brighter areas typically indicate warmer temperatures. So
warmer temperatures. I wonder. Gee golly, guys, I wonder what creates warmer temperatures. Do you think a flashlight, a headlight from a vehicle, do you think that would create a warmer temperature?
The circle is likely emitting infrared light due to its heat signature. This type of light is visible to the human eye but can be detected by specialized sensors.
What the fuck did your thing come up with? Are you telling me this is light that our human eyes can't see but the camera picked up? So are you saying it's just not there but now it's there? It just automatically kicked on? So what, do we got like a military vehicle out there, special ops with, I mean, now you sounded stupid. I mean,
invisible to the human eye. This type of light is invisible to the human eye. Now, let's just say for a second, because I've been wanting to bring this up to you, but I don't want to talk to you.
let's just say, because
God,
I've been here many times, okay, to this exact location. Let's just say,
yeah, and so have my contacts. So
that is a headlight.
It is.
Tell me what car you have ever ridden in Mob Crew where the headlight right here, supposedly,
that's not a headlight. That's not where the headlight. That's the damn tail light.
has a throw pattern that just ignores the first 10 or 12.
No, that's the damn tail. Oh my God. And you know this. Now you're just being stupid. The headlights themselves cannot be seen because of the car and the angle.
Feet. Like, it just, and then just throws light and begins like 12 feet out. So wouldn't that be fun to drive around in a car and be like, okay, I can't see anything in the first 10 or 12
Okay, this
feet.
guy's just stupid. How did this guy get this job? How did he become How did he become the job he is? I would love to know how he got that job. So then what is it, Fisher? Of course, I'm sure he doesn't. I didn't even want to know. He's saying it's infrared light. So then who the F is out there with infrared lights, right? If it's not a vehicle, isn't that just as big as a question, if not bigger? I mean, is that spec ops out there running missions? Holy shit. I mean, do you listen to yourself? Anyway, my God. I thank you for sending that to me. Holy man, now it makes me like, do you think he does that with all my lives? Like, he just reads them, like, listen to him. He's like, oh, you know, that's what I imagine him doing. Maybe not every live, right? But, you know, because I know he does, you know, he's always out there, you know, doing something. But now I picture whenever he's watching my video, he's, Evan, my God. Oh, that was good. That was fun to kind of finish off with. Again, I just explained everything on how that. And oh my God, I wrote that down, how he said he's never used Grok. Well, I'm going to make him eat his own words. I have the screenshot. Multiple screenshots where he literally used Grok to tell the temperature. I'm like 90% sure, unless I'm like tripping. I'm pretty sure it was Grok. So, anyway, yeah, FLIR. Well, then who the hell is out there using FLIR cameras, right? That'd almost be more like suspicious, right? Wouldn't you be then lean towards, well, this is like some kind of specialized human traffickers that are out there using, you know, light that the human eyes can't see, right? Oh my God. Yeah. We will. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully do a regular live and hopefully get in a members live as well. So, because I do now more than ever, I want to get a fish sticks emoji going and have yeah, that was great, Sandy. Thank you. That's hilarious. Kindly huge hugs to Seth and Sebastian. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, guys. SF at the opposite end of the tail lights. Yeah, you idiot. And he read like where I said headlight and tail light. Notice how he knows that what I claim is a tail light. He knows that. I can't believe he literally, and that just shows you what a piece of shit he is. I'm sorry, but not really. 'Cause that's what you do, you know, when you don't give a shit and you're just getting paid, right? But anyway, I will be on Twitter to expose them even harder. I'm going to come out with a bunch of short clips, so they're, you know, more Twitter worthy. And then we'll do it live, and then we'll just post them, and then try to, as many people as we can, get them over there and kind of, you know, like and kind of jack them up a little bit as much as we can, for Sebastian's sake, because obviously everything will be tagged with Sebastian, and make sure his flyer's in there as well. With all these debunks that I've got, you know, and they'll be the epic ones, right? Because there's so many, so I'll have the best of, and we'll just do that, and yeah, we'll get the attention, and I guarantee you this SF one will be in there. It'll be hilarious. So, all right, guys, I am gonna head out. If by chance, if anybody sent like a PayPal or Venmo or something, and if I missed it, I apologize. I didn't see anything, but thank you to everybody spending your rest of your weekend with me. Yeah, I will, Sandy. I will. I kind of want to find the whole thing if it's still up there. God, that's hilarious. Especially the part where he's just, I'm talking and he's just kind of cutting in between. Oh my God. I told you, I think this guy, in my opinion, he's not right? I think he's possibly a sociopath. I don't think he's a killer, but to work in that line of work, and be able to do that with a clear conscience, again, you've got to be built differently in the head. And I don't mean it in a good way either. Yeah, I thank you, Sandy. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, it was kind of a it was a goulash of a live. I like to have things more cohesive, but the live video I put out took me longer. So, all right, guys. We'll see you guys mañana. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Yeah, he's the Temu PI. Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. But he doesn't require the Temu price, though. That's the thing, right? He gets paid the big bucks. But, yeah, he is the Temu. I agree with that. Oh, thank you, Roxy. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And then thank you to my mods, Sassy, Sensei. I don't know if I saw Dean here. I think I saw Jennifer for a second. I know she's usually kind of in the backgrounds, but thank you again to the mods. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Be safe.